Well, hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you. It's Thursday. It's Thursday evening, in case you're wondering. That's May 8th, 2025. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so glad you decided to join me here this wonderful evening. If you missed any of the shows or you'd like to rewatch this show or check out any of my other amazing, inspiring content, do believe you should visit believemeachieve.com for more of my creations. All right, guys, maybe you want to head over to the kitchen and get yourself something yummy. Maybe it's something hot. Maybe it's something cold. Maybe it's something sweet. Maybe it's something tart. Maybe it's healthy or not. That's totally up to you. So go ahead and grab that and head on back here. By the way, the granular topic for this week is yes, it is well, I'll give you the master. It's living with purpose, standing strong, leading with heart. The granular is this: gratitude in the journey, series 4, show 19, episode number 6. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they need to be grateful in the journey of life. Why? Because when we're grateful, more things in our life will show up that we can be grateful for. I think that's probably a very amazing thing, guys. I mean, really amazing, amazing thing. All right. So, welcome back to another fantastic, eye opening episode of Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I am your host, exclusively here, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, podcast host, and coach. And tonight, I'm embarking on a heartfelt exploration of one of the most powerful forces in personal growth. What is it? Gratitude. This episode is about gratitude in the journey now. Is now thinking about this should be a reminder that life isn't just about the milestones. It's about what we learn, who we become, and how we appreciate the process along the way. Whether you're navigating the season of success or facing unexpected hurdles, gratitude can serve as your internal compass, keeping you grounded, positive, and focused. When embraced fully, gratitude shifts your perception and turns everything, even your most difficult moments, into valuable life lessons. So grab those headphones and that drink or that snack and get ready, because this episode is packed with things that will change the way you look at your life's path forever. Are you ready? I know I am. All right, number one, guys. Number one is gratitude isn't just for good times. No, ladies and gentlemen, gratitude isn't just for good times. And that's something I want you guys to embrace, that it is not just for good times. And so it's easy to be grateful when everything is going right, when the deals close all the time, when health is strong, when relationships are flourishing. But the truth of the matter is, the test comes, that is of gratitude, when we get life's storms. It's in these moments of uncertainty, discomfort, and failure that gratitude becomes a powerful act of resilience. Choosing to be thankful during the hard times doesn't mean denying your pain. It means recognizing that every challenge carries with it the potential for growth. When you find appreciation in adversity, you reclaim control over your mindset. Instead of being consumed by frustration or fear, gratitude helps you process, adapt, and eventually rise stronger. Um, it's the foundation, it's the cornerstone, let's say, blocks of the building that allow you to have that turn or that pivot, um, for taking the breakdowns and making them breakthroughs. I think that's something that a lot of people miss, and not because they want to miss it, but I think because they're so inundated by everything going on that they just don't know what to say. They have no real idea of what to say. So, number two is the ripple, okay, effect of gratitude. This is a favorite one of mine. Gratitude doesn't just change your life, it changes the energy of every room you walk into. When you consistently express thanks and appreciation, you create this subtle ripple that starts slow and then touches others in ways that you didn't even imagine could happen. A simple thank you can transform a coworker's day, heal a strained relationship, or uplift someone struggling in silence. But it doesn't stop there, folks. Teams and communities built on appreciation become more cohesive, supportive, and innovative. When people feel seen and valued, they show up with more energy, enthusiasm, and collaboration. You see, gratitude moves beyond emotion. It becomes a cultural force that multiplies goodwill, kindness, and success. But again, I think a lot of people get stuck or get stubborn that they can't actually do it, but they really can. Number three, guys, this is another one of my favorites. It's a daily practice that cultivates gratitude. Gratitude, as I said before, is a muscle. And just like any other muscle, it gets stronger with consistent use. You don't need grand gestures. What matters is intentionality. Try starting each morning by writing down three things you're grateful for. They can be as big as a life event or as small as the first sip of your morning coffee. Before you go to sleep, reflect on what you smile on or feel fulfilled on that day. You see, voice appreciation to those around you is important. Text a friend. You could thank your team or compliment a stranger. These micro moments of gratitude, okay, are important because they will rewire your brain to focus on positivity and abundance instead of lack. Over time, these rituals become the emotional scaffolding that supports you even in your lowest moments. You begin to experience more joy simply because you're looking for it. Hey, that's an oxymoron, but it's the truth. You experience more joy because you're looking for it. So when you're looking for good things, guess what happens? Well, more good things find you. Number four, gratitude fuels lifelong learning. The most powerful learners aren't just curious, folks. They're grateful for every opportunity to grow, even when it's uncomfortable. Gratitude turns mistakes into mentors and setbacks into basically lessons that you can learn from. When you approach life with thankfulness, you become open to feedback, willing to adapt, and starting to become resilient in the face of criticism. Rather than seeing failure as defeat, you view it as a part of your curriculum. Grateful learners absorb more, reflect deeper, and ultimately evolve faster. See, the mindset isn't just about personal development, folks. It fuels innovation, creativity, and leadership. Because when you value the process of growth as much as the outcome, you never stop evolving. I know a lot of people that are so, um, let's say, taken to a stop and powerless. Why? Because they just don't think they can do anything. Okay. Um, and the reason they don't think they can do anything is because of a current feeling they have, a current feeling. But that feeling can change, ladies and gentlemen. That feeling absolutely can change. Number five, don't rush the journey. In a world obsessed with speed and instant success, it's tempting to sprint through life's chapters without ever pausing to appreciate the present. But growth, healing, and wisdom take time. When you rush the journey, you miss the richness of the experience, the quiet wins, the meaningful conversations, the personal discoveries. Gratitude invites you to slow down and honor where you are at the present moment in time. Even if you haven't yet reached your destination, there's beauty in becoming. Each step, even the detours, carry purpose. When you learn to embrace gratitude in the moment, you begin to trust that everything is unfolding for the greater good of all concerned, including yourself. And everything will be in divine, perfect timing. And that is the journey itself. And it is now starting to get you to see that the journey is the reward, not just the destination. I think that's so powerful, guys. And I think it's something that most people just don't realize. They don't realize how or why that happens, but you can make such a big difference in your life. And I think that's a very important thing, if I do say so myself. And so if you can understand that how you react to life, right? You react to life based on what you're feeling. And life is like a lens. That's what life is like. Life is like a lens. And so if you understand that life is like a lens, then you truly can make big differences in your life. I mean, every single day you can make these differences. But again, they're not going to happen overnight. That's the first thing I want to tell you. They're not going to happen overnight. And so if we understand that, then we already are ahead of the curve. Okay. So these are really, really important things. Okay. Number 6, reframing setbacks with appreciation. There's a real powerful one. Every setback contains a hidden seed of opportunity, but only if you're willing to look for it. Gratitude gives you the lens to see failure not as punishment, but as a feedback. And when something doesn't go your way, rather than spiraling into a regret or a blame cycle, ask yourself this question: what did this teach me? Or how can I use this? How can I learn from it? That will cause you to shift, and it in turn will feel like a dead end, and then it'll go into a redirection. Okay. Reframing with appreciation help you release. Okay. That is very, very important. Resentment, and move forward with intention. You're no longer stuck in what went wrong. You're now empowered by what you've learned. It's one of the most mature and liberating ways to live. All right. Number 7, gratitude as a mindset, not as a moment. I think a lot of people think that if they're grateful for one time, then that's it. But no, you have to live your life with gratitude all the time. I think that's a very, very important thing, and something that I hope you will all understand, because it truly can make a very, very big difference in your life and so many other people's lives. All right. That is very, very important. Gratitude isn't a once in a while reaction. It's a way of seeing the world. It's not something you only practice on holidays or when things go well. A gratitude mindset means you're constantly scanning life for what's working, what's beautiful, what's meaningful. It keeps you grounded when life gets noisy and helps you focus on what matters. With this mindset, okay, even mundane tasks become opportunities for appreciation. Washing dishes becomes a reminder that you have food to eat. Traffic becomes a moment for reflection. It's about integrating gratitude into the fabrics of your thoughts so that appreciation becomes your default. Number 8, the link between gratitude and resilience. Gratitude and resilience go hand in hand. When you're thankful, even in tough situations, you build a psychological buffer against stress and, of course, despair. Gratitude fuels hope, and hope is essential for bouncing back. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude recover faster from trauma, manage adversity better, and maintain higher levels of mental well being. It's not that gratitude makes life easier, it makes you stronger. In times of crisis, it's not the most talented who thrive, it's those who can remain grateful for what remains and who can still find light even when the tunnel seems dark. We all know that there is a light at the other end of the tunnel, even if we can't directly see that light right now. We have blind faith that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's a very, very important thing to understand. Number 9, appearing small might be a challenge for you, but when you appreciate small wins along the way, it can really help you. Sometimes we get so focused on big finish lines that we forget to cheer for the small steps. But progress is progress, and every micro win deserves celebration. Did you keep a promise to yourself today? Did you get through a tough conversation? Did you wake up with a better mindset than yesterday? Those are victories. Gratitude helps you savor the small wins that accumulate into big transformations. Over time, when you start noticing and appreciating these moments, your motivation grows. You begin to see the success. It isn't one big moment, it's a series of quiet, consistent choices made with purpose. And I think that's something that a lot of people may miss. And the reason is because they are frustrated at what they're currently seeing through their lens at that present time. Wow, that's very powerful. Number 10, gratitude. It connects us with our true purpose from the core. When you're grateful, you become more aware of what truly matters to you. You begin to recognize the values that guide you, the people who support you, and the passions that ignite your spirit. This clarity is what connects you to your deeper purpose. Gratitude reminds you that you're not just existing, you're contributing. You're part of something larger, whether it's serving others, creating something meaningful, or just being a light in someone's day. Purpose is born from a grateful awareness of your impact. When you live with gratitude, you live with intention and purpose. And this all becomes not just a goal, but a way of life. And I know you're probably saying, hey, John, this seems kind of impossible. But I'm here to tell you that it is not impossible. It becomes a natural way of life for you and for many other people. But what causes the challenge, I'm going to tell you, is the fact that you get stuck in where you are at the present moment. And so, what I like to do at this part of the show, you guys know I do this all the time. I want to just take everything I've said to you right now. There were actually 10 points that I went over to this evening. Hopefully, you guys caught the drift of those points. But now I want to do something just like I do pretty much every night or every day when I do this. And the reason I do this is I want to solidify this in your own mind. So I'm going to give you 10 personal lessons that you can learn from each point today. Hopefully, that will get you to resonate more. It'll get you to appreciate where you are. And by appreciation, it's like you now have whatever it was you were looking for, you now have it. Maybe you didn't have it before, but now you have it. And so many times people are comparing what other people have or what they're doing. And although I know that can be very, very tempting, and it can be something you think is going to be helpful to you, it's actually extremely harmful to you. Why? Because you're comparing, guys. You are comparing. So let's start off with the first lesson that I have. The first one is gratitude isn't just for the good. Your strength is revealed not when life is easy, but when you choose gratitude. Okay. I think that's something, as I said, it's very, very important. I think that's important to understand. And so maybe you're saying to me, John, like I don't get like what this is. Maybe you don't get the fact that what you're doing is truly great, but then maybe it's not great because you're feeling stressed out. And nobody wants to feel stressed out, right? But let's face it, that does happen, right? It does happen sometimes. And so I think if we can just step back for maybe only a moment, then we can truly see our potential. Okay. We can see our potential. And by our potential, you might be saying to me, John, like, how does this work? I think it comes down to, where does something come from? Like, where? And I think that's something that maybe you have to figure out on your own. Okay. Maybe you are stuck in the current moment. Just maybe, right? And if you're stuck in the current moment, how do you ever move out of that moment? I think that's a very, very hard thing for a lot of people to recognize, but you can move out of that moment. All right. You really can. It just takes a little bit of persistence. Of course, it takes some gratitude, right? We have to say that. So, gratitude isn't just for the good. My personal lesson here is I've learned that the moments when everything seems to fall apart are often the moments that define who I become. And years ago, when I hit one of the toughest personal and business seasons of my life, gratitude felt like a luxury I couldn't afford. But ironically, it was the very thing I needed to survive and thrive. I began to look at each difficulty not as a wall, but as a window to a lesson. That experience taught me that even in the darkest storms, there's a hidden light somewhere, and gratitude becomes the flashlight that helps us find our way through any dark path. Number two, the ripple effect of gratitude. When I started consciously thinking people on my team, podcasts, guests, etc., clients, friends, I noticed something beautiful. Their energy changed, and so did mine. It reminded me that my energy is contagious. A sincere thank you doesn't just acknowledge someone, it elevates them. I saw relationships deepen, collaborations increase, and morale lift. The way I show up matters, and gratitude creates a wave that carries me farther than I could ever imagine. One kind word can start a chain reaction of positivity that comes full circle. Daily practices that cultivate gratitude are the key. There was a time I rushed through my mornings, emails, to do lists, and back to back calls. But once I add a simple gratitude journal to my routine, my mindset shifted. Writing three things I was thankful for helped me reframe how I approached each day. I became more centered, more appreciative, and more productive, not because my life changed overnight, but because my perspective did. That daily ritual now grounds me. It's not just an exercise, it's my emotional compass. Number four, gratitude fuels lifelong learning. In my entrepreneurial journey, I've made mistakes, some costly, others humbling. But instead of regretting them, I've come to thank them. And why? Because each one has taught me a very unique, valuable lesson. Okay. Something that no textbook could ever share. Gratitude helped me escape and accept what I needed to know, but most importantly, gain the feedback with grace, not an ego. It turned my mentors into mirrors and missteps into momentum. That's why I now welcome learning curves, because gratitude turns every challenge into a classroom. And I'm always enrolled in a class, even if it's not at the college I'm going to. Number five, uh, don't rush the journey. I've been that guy chasing success so fast that I miss the magic of the moment. But life has gently, and sometimes not so gently, slowed me down to teach me something profound. You can't microwave growth. The most beautiful parts of my journey, whether launching a business or building friendships, have unfolded not in haste, but in patience. See, gratitude helps me savor the now, the moment, the present, because the becoming is just as powerful as the arrival. Number six, reframing setbacks with appreciation. Personal lesson here. There was a deal I poured my heart into that ultimately fell through, and I was crushed. But instead of getting bitter, I got curious. I asked myself, what is this setback trying to teach me? And what I discovered was that the failure freed me up for something even greater down the line. Gratitude helped me extract wisdom. Instead of wallowing in disappointment, now I see setbacks as setups. Every no is a redirection toward a better yes. Number seven, gratitude as a mindset, not a moment. Personal lessons. For years, I treated gratitude like a reaction, something I felt after something good happened. But once I learned to flip the switch and make it my daily mindset, everything changed. Now I actively look for what's right, not just what's wrong. Even in a long line or a traffic jam, I find something to be thankful for, like the podcast I get to listen to or be a host on. In fact, even the fact that I have a car to drive, a nice house to live in, warm clothing, food, and so many things. Gratitude isn't just a practice, it becomes a lens through which, as I said, I see my entire life, and it will be your lens if you allow it. Number eight, the link between gratitude and resilience. When I went through personal loss, I thought resilience meant pushing through. But I discovered that true resilience is rooted in still being able to say, I'm grateful for what I still have. That shift made me have an emotional strength, not because I had all the answers, but because I had hope. Gratitude gave me the internal tools to rebuild one piece at a time. It reminded me that life doesn't have to be perfect to still be deeply meaningful. Number nine, appreciating small wins along the way. Launching new episodes, growing my audience, and helping others. These big goals can sometimes feel slow to manifest. But when I began to celebrate the little wins, a great comment, a new subscriber here, or a breakthrough there, or a client getting something in a coaching session, my motivation changed. And I realized that success is built brick by brick. Gratitude for small progress is not the only thing that keeps me consistent, but it also keeps me joyful. Every small win is proof that I'm moving in the right direction. Number 10, gratitude connects me with purpose. When I reflect on the many people I've met through this podcast, listeners, guests, collaborators, I realize that gratitude has clarified my purpose more than any vision board ever could. The more I give thanks for the opportunity to serve, share, and uplift, the more connected I feel to my calling. Gratitude reminds me that this isn't just a show, it's a mission. I'm here to help others grow and, become a better version of themselves. And every grateful thought brings me closer to that purpose every single day. People always ask me, John, why do you do what I do? I love making the world better. And I love knowing that I have power to do this. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize. It definitely keeps me very grounded and makes me, again, grateful for everything that I have, things that I didn't know existed. But just got to be a little bit grateful. And you've just got to be a little patient, right? Too many people I know want the kitchen sink and the whole entire house in 24 hours. But they haven't even been grateful for the house they're living in now or for the gifts God has given them. They're just so focused on what's the next big thing. Now, there's nothing wrong with the next big thing, okay? But we have to be humble. Carl Jung said something very wise a long time ago. Life begins when you find yourself. You're never too young or too old to find yourself. Once you find yourself, well, I got news for you. Your doors will open. Life will change. You will start to realize that the journey you're on is changing. Why? Because now you're starting to learn something that you didn't even think was possible before, all because you decided to make a switch. That is so powerful, guys. So powerful. So gratitude in the journey, gratitude in the challenges you receive, gratitude in everything you do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you guys on this amazing show. Whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please do be sure to check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, of course, inspiring creations at believemeachieve.com. And I'll catch you guys on another show or another form of my content real soon. Be well, everyone.